Good afternoon, friends, followers and channel members. Hope you are all well. Well, as we passed the 35k mark yesterday, which is just absolutely phenomenal, thank you so much, I thought we'd celebrate by flying to what I probably quite often describe on the channel as one of my favourite destinations to fly to. Not because it's easy, but quite the opposite in fact. It's actually rather challenging, and there is so many things to consider when flying to Tivat. I know a few people, when I touted this stream, thought it might be Innsbruck. We'll have to do Innsbruck another time. That is another one of my favourite destinations. But Tivat is just it's just a brilliant place for so many reasons, as you will hopefully see on our flight today. So guys, welcome on board. Thank you for joining me. We're going to be here for the next 2 or 3 hours as we fly a real world flight from Geneva down to Tivat. In fact, this flight in real life departed about half an hour ago, maybe a little bit longer, so it is actually it is not only a real world flight, it's actually taking place right now. So yeah, there you go. So welcome everyone just coming on board. Hey Pedro, hey Nick, good afternoon. Hey Liana, good to see you. James, Chalty's here as well. Hey Chalty, good to speak to you. Andre, Mike, Macken, Simon, Anna, Miles, Aviator, hello as well. And Liana, beginning our stream in the briefing room with 5 Easyjet in Pilot Channel membership gifts. And thank you so much for your support. And you're here on pretty much every stream that we do as well. So amazing stuff. Thanks, Liana. Great to have you on board for today's flight. That gifting there going to James, Andy, Jonathan, Cornelius, and Manic as well. Welcome, guys, to channel membership, courtesy of Liana. Very, very generous of you. Thank you so much. What a great way to kick off the stream as well. So, big shout out as well to everybody else coming in and taking a seat for our flight today, and to those of you over on Twitch, good afternoon as well. Hope you're all doing well. So on screen now, you can actually see the approach into Tivat. Yeah, look at all that. There's terrain. There's an offset localizer approach as well. It's got everything going for it. So really looking forward to this. So much stuff to consider, which we'll be discussing once we're in the cruise. Anyway, but enough of that. We need to probably start off with a brief as to where we actually are. Let me just have a look. There we go. Right. That's the operational flight plan. We are, now this is quite interesting as well, underloaded by only 15 tons. It's interesting because there's a chance of thunderstorms in Tivat. Well, let's be honest. Do you want to land in Tivat with thunderstorms? No, I don't either. So a diversion is potentially possible. So there's all sorts of things that could take place today. Payload of about 15.4 tons. Takeoff weight is 667, so we're already above max landing weight, something to consider. 4 tons of fuel is used for the trip. Looking to land at 62. The cost index, of course, 4. That's normal. Cruise flight level. It's a bit of a sim briefism that we're actually going to be cruising today flight level 370 in total, and we've got a small tailwind knocking us down there as well. Runway 4 for departure is planned better for 5 November, and Tivat runway 32, which also has a slight tailwind. Now, it's still the preferred runway even with a tailwind, just because of the complexities of the approach onto the opposite runway, the circle to land. So 32 is in use both in real life at the moment, and that's what we're planning here. Plug fuel is 7.5 tons, and CNR is 3.2. So once we start dropping below sort of 3.5 tons, we probably need to consider going somewhere else, particularly if the weather is bad. Jonathan also coming in with 5 Easyjets in Pilot Channel membership gifts as well for John Doe, Steve, Mike, Callum, and Marion. Jonathan, that is incredibly kind as well. Thank you so much, guys, kicking off the stream in an amazingly generous way as we celebrate our 35,000 subscribers that we reached yesterday. What a milestone. Thank you so much, everyone, for that. But yes, Jonathan, really do appreciate that, Jonathan. Thank you so much to both you and Leanna as well. So let's just continue looking as we depart. Obviously, we've got the Alps to fly over, so sort of the first 20 minutes or so, we need to be aware of that. Any decompressions, then we're going to have to think about where we're going to go. And then as we get a little bit closer, actually, but we don't need to worry about decompressions after that, because even the terrain around Tivat, you can see it's high. It's about 7,600 feet is the Mora, but it means we can get down to 10,000 if we needed to. Now, looking at the weather here, it looks really nice, doesn't it? Everywhere looks nice. It's all the nines, and we've got clear blue sky as well outside, which I'll show you in a moment. The winds are looking nice as well. Localized approach, yeah. And it's this bit here. There we go, Tivat. So forecast is fine. A few clouds, 5,000 feet. Winds 230 at 6. So that's all okay. But just this small chance of thunderstorms and CBs knocking around about 3,000 feet. I mean, it is a small chance. Hopefully, it won't sort of come to fruition, but we'll find out as we go. Belgrade is the alternate. That looks fine. Tirana is also an alternate as well. That too looks fine. Pristina again looks okay. Well, there's a chance that the winds are getting up and thunderstorms and rain, so maybe not. And one of my favourites, Dubrovnik. I wish there was great scenery for Dubrovnik. I'd fly to Dubrovnik a lot more if there were. Yeah, so that's all looking good. There's our flight plan. We're avoiding the CBs to the north of us, so that's good as well. Okay, so what fuel are we going to take with us? Well, we're not going to take plug fuel, not with a chance of CBs and thunderstorms going into Tivat, but we can't really take too much more. Most we can take is around 1.5 tons. After that, we're going to be limited, and we're going to be above max landing weight when we get to Tivat. Not what we want. So we're going to throw in... just thinking about the fuel burn of the Fenix as well, because that's not 100% accurate yet. Let's go with 8 point... Yeah, let's throw an extra ton on board then. And that will take us, yeah, 8.5 tons of fuel. Will hopefully see us right. So with that extra ton on board, that means our landing weight in Tivat is going to be 63.8. So 63.8 is getting close to 64. Let's do a dispatch landing then. We've also got a tailwind as well, remember. So, Tivat, which is LYTV, runway 32. We'll go dry figures for now. Refresh meta, apply the meta, apply that. And, okay, let's go 64, see what happens. That's auto brake, medium. Yeah, so we can get in, that's it. If it does start to rain, can we get in as well? Yes, we can. So with that extra fuel on board, we're still happy to take that extra fuel, and we know we are going to get in as well. Awesome. So that's all done. There you can see 1 knot tailwind and a 4 knot crosswind. Good fun. Right, let's have a look then at the charts. Give me 1 second while I just grab these. Okay, so Geneva, where we are, runway 4 departure, which is actually quite nice because we're taking off in the right direction, although we actually end up turning right and coming back in the opposite direction, so actually that's probably not any more beneficial for us than runway 22, but nevertheless we are going to be pushing back. We're on stand 65 today, where the real flight took off from half an hour ago or so. So we'll expect to push back and then taxi down the outer. We can probably take an intersection departure, Foxtrot or Echo if they're available. Have we got anything available to say? Oh, actually, we've got Foxtrot there, we've got Echo there. Yeah, they're both plenty long enough for us, so we'll have a look once we get in the aircraft what's going to be possible. We're expecting minimum 5 November departure, however, that might change. ATC is online, so they might give us one of the others, 5 November, 5 Papa, 5 Quebec, that kind of thing. And all that really does is just change the flight level when passing Esapi as we go. Things to be aware of: we know we've got terrain around Geneva, literally to the north, the west, the south, the east, and we're going to be flying straight towards it as well. So things to be aware of. No speed restrictions though, and we are straight out, and that right hand turn begins at 8 miles from GVA, which is the Geneva VOR, and above 5,000 feet. So they're the two prerequisites, so I might even keep autopilot off for a while on that initial departure. But yeah, there we go. We'll have a look at the engine out procedure as well in a moment and see what that's got to say with regards to any nav aids that I'll pop in the box before we go. Right. I think that's about it for now. What's the initial climb? Flight level 90. Wonderful. Okay, shall we, and 7,000 transition altitude, shall we have a look at getting in the aircraft, getting the passengers on, and going? Just realised Navigraph wasn't showing. My apologies. There it is. Hopefully you can see that all again now. Yeah, so that's basically what I was just describing. Okay, yeah, let's do it. Where's my aircraft? There we go. What a gorgeous day. Not a cloud in the sky. Ollie, is the flying to high LYB scenery any good on performance? I have no idea. We're not flying there, so I can't even test that for you. Right, where's the stairs? There's no stairs there. That's unfortunate, but never mind. Come on then. Let's get in. Right, here we are, Red Wings Geneva Airport, and let's tell cabin crew and ground crew that they can start loading. So, nav and logo lights, they are on, spoilers, flaps, parking brakes, and acupressure is all good, so we're happy with that. Right, hello.
Ground to cockpit.
Hi, Captain. The terminal staff are ready to send the passengers down. Start boarding.
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. We'll get started then, and I'll let the rest of the crew know we're ready. It might take a few minutes for the passengers to start arriving, though.
And I think ground are there as well. Yeah, hello, ground. Are you there?
Hi, Captain. Microphone check, please.
Loud and clear.
You're loud and clear. 5 over 5. Okay, Captain. Radio check complete. We'll contact you once the ground vehicles arrive and we're ready to start loading.
Okay, roger.
Ground to cockpit.
Go ahead.
Hi, Captain. Just a quick update to let you know that we've started loading. We'll contact you again once we're done.
Alright, thank you. Alright, so let's go through the setup now. As I said, ATIS is online as we've got some air traffic control. So, what's our frequency? 13557. I'm also going to be interested to see how the displays react today, because the Fenix team are testing something with regards to that. So, hopefully, if it works, that'll be rolled out soon. 13557. Let's see if we get the ATIS.
This is Geneva Information Echo at 1320. ILS approach runway 04. Data link clearance available from LFGG. Transition level 80. Wind 080 degrees 4 knots. Visibility 10 kilometers or more. Clouds. Few at 7,000 feet. Temperature 35, 2.15. QNH 1018. Nosig. Geneva Information Echo.
Right, so got everything we needed from that. That's fine. Let's just check then. 1018 on there, 1018 on there. Put constraints on that initial climb. Remember, we said it's going to be flight level 90, so we'll set that as well. Okay, so let's set up the box. We've got ILS3 nav greens, aircraft status. That's all fine. Let's do the init request as well. GPS primary, clear that out. Derek, the other voice that you hear for the ground, it's not part of JSX, no, it's self-loading cargo following their new update that came out not so long ago. I like it. Not everybody's cup of tea, but I think it's just quite nice, quite realistic in terms of how it works and how you can also interact with it with your voice as well, which is really neat. All right, so easy. Well, got a tongue twister of a call sign today. Top Swiss 46 Lima Hotel. Cost index of 4. Ground temperature is 34. God, that's warm. What's the tropo? Where's my flight plan? Let's bring that up There it is. So Tropo is 44437. Get the winds in. And just check the iris in it. 46142 667 east.
Passengers bus is
That's
coming.
fine. And cruising today, as I said, we're going to be flying 370. Wonderful. Okay, so the departure is 04. We're expecting on the flight plan Medem 5 November, subject to change. Get that in. Hey Tufu, thank you for the follow. And then coming into Tivat, we have the it's the localizer 3.2 approach. Just checking all the approaches available. Yeah, localizer 3.2 approach, so with 3.2 Zulu. And we've got the TAS-1 Echo in there. Now what will probably happen is we're coming in from the west, is we may just do a little direct to help with this, but yeah, TAS-1 Echo is planned, and the approach via I think is going to be, it's usually, is it a Luvu or is that from the west? Let's have a quick look. TAS-1 Echo, Mammal, Aluvi. It might not be any via then, actually, because I think it comes in via Lasti. Right, so let's go no via. We can check this out in cruise and tidy it up if it's not looking right. So 665, and I've got 663. That's not a million miles away, so we're happy with that. Alright, Radnav page, we obviously want the GVA. And I think if we just have a look at the engine out procedure for runway 4, just throw anything in here so I can get that. Remember, this is the performance takeoff calculator for the Neo. However, we can use these figures for the engine out procedure and thrust reduction values. So, yeah, it's non-standard SPR, so that's what I wanted. There we go. Right, in it B, have we got a load sheet at all? Let's see. There we go. Zero fuel is 59.4, and planned CFG is 31.9. Alternate fuel is 2, let's call it 2.1 tons. The go around at Tivat is not exactly a normal straightforward one, so happy to just increase that by 100 kilogram. And there we go, block 7.6, we're going to be taking 8.5, which gives a takeoff weight then of 67.7, and a takeoff CFG is 30, bang on, but it's not by the time they've loaded the aircraft. Hey Lemon, good to see you. Hey Goofy. Right, good, happy with all of that. We'll just accept that, and let's do the performance takeoff calculations. So let's have a quick look. It is indeed dry, flaps 1, no need to force toga, yep, they're off, 677 and 30. Grab the weather. Right, what intersection data is available here? Echo would be nice. Let's just have a quick check.
Good evening, ma'am. How are you? I'm doing good.
Passengers bus is coming.
Yeah, Echo would be nice. Echo or Foxtrot. Let's go with Echo, and then we can take any of the others if we need to. So I just need to check. Echo is 2,600 meters. Echo 2,600 meters. That's fine. So that's given us 141, 146, and 146. Flaps 1, and a flex of 61. Right, thrust reduction acceleration values, we saw there was a difference between those, making this a noise abatement 1 departure. So let's bring those back up on screen. And, oh, where's my flight simulator gone? That was a bit weird. Ah, do you know? For a moment then I thought it had crashed. I must have just hovered the mouse over minimize or something. There we go. Let me see. 2907. 4407. And engine out is 2407.
Once you have safely stowed your cabin bag, please take your seat. To help us
there we
ensure
go.
a prompt departure, we would kindly ask that you keep the aisle clear.
Secondary flight plan then. Copy the active.
Your seatbelts can now be
Climb straight out.
This is
And
no smoking system.
yeah, basically fly to Saint-Prix SPR. So pop that in. Where we'll hold. It's quite a nice standard and easy engine out procedure to pop in, this isn't it? Inbound is 224, right turns. And then obviously if we've lost that engine we're going to be coming back into Geneva. Which I'll be very sad about because I liked him. Wireless 04, no start. And no veer. Good, let's see what that looks like. Yeah, there we go. Straight out, into the hold, and we'll vector ourselves back in and around. Great. Crispy Williams, what a great name. Thank you for following. Check out, scenery that I use for Geneva is Red Wings. Yeah, really nice scenery. Okay, let's contact ATC, make sure everything's as we expect, and then we'll brief it all. 118.7. Geneva Tower, good afternoon. Top Swiss 46 Lima Hotel, stand 56 requesting IFR clearances filed to Tivat A320, and we have Echo. Intercom will have to wait for a minute.
Top Swiss 46 Lima Hotel Tower, hello. Information Echo is correct. You're cleared to Tivat via the Medam 5 November departure route on the up runway 04, climb flight level 900, squawk 6734.
Cleared by the Medam 5 November, runway 04 for departure, and initial climb 90, squawk 6734, Top Swiss 46 Lima Hotel.
Top Swiss 46 Lima Hotel, readback is correct, startup approved, QNH 1018.
Startup approved, thank you. And do you require pushback from this position, or is it a straight out taxi?
Top Swiss 46 Lima Hotel, it's up to you, but normally it's a straight out taxi position.
Roger, thank you, and we've got we're cleared to start engines, and we'll call ready for taxi. Top Swiss 46 Lima Hotel. Lovely. Well, that's made things a bit easier. Right, what does she want? Hello.
Hi, Captain. Everyone's on board.
Okay, thanks. We're just finishing up here and waiting ground to finish as well.
No problem. I'll bring it to you as soon as they send it up.
White Eagle, the answering machine, will get it. Normally the guy sat next to me would get it. Yeah, what am I doing? Squawk. Which is 6734. I think that's in there. Can't actually see it. Initial climb 90. That's all in. Brilliant. Okay, let's brief the lot then. So starting with the weather as always. Winds 080 at 4, so a little bit of wind from the right as we're departing. Visibility is 10 kilometers or more, which is great. We're nicely VMC here. Nice dry runway, so that's all good. Few clouds, 7,000 feet. QNH is 1018. The aircraft is fully serviceable with the exception of the weather, which is just standard now, I think, isn't it? No NOTAMs that will affect our departure here in Geneva. Threats to be aware of. I touched on this briefly in the briefing room, but yeah, terrain. Terrain's the biggest threat, of course, isn't it? Making sure that we're situationally aware of what is around. And, you know, if all goes to pot, then let's just carry straight out and get into that hold at SPR, because that's basically over Lake Geneva. That's the safest place to be. Right, we are stand. Where are we? Stand 65. Sorry. So we're going to get a straight out taxi today. No pushback required. So that's going to be straight out. I expect a right-hand turn, then on the inner link 4, and then the outer, unless they send us all the way down the inner, but probably not. And then we'll tell them we can take Echo, and it's up to them then what happens. Not a massive taxi, so no need to do a single engine taxi. We'll get both engines started on stand. Departure is straight out, and then when above 5,000 feet, but not before 8 miles from the Geneva VOR, it's a right-hand turn. Noise abatement 1, so that's slightly different to what we're used to, and the initial climb is 9,000. MSA as we climb is 7,000 feet, and once we get 10 miles away from Geneva on our track, it's going to be 10,600 feet, so it is worth popping that on the fixers page, just where we're situationally aware of that. But as I say, the weather's really kind to us today, so we can see for miles. Did I say it was 10 miles? Yes. So let's just get that in. So we've got that on screen. There we are, 10 mile radius. So that's where it's 7,000 feet. Lovely. Engine out procedure then. Let's brief the emergency brief. So standard Airbus A320 emergency brief. If we lose an engine after V1, we're committed to takeoff. And then we will get the aircraft into the air using standard technique, 12.5 degrees pitch, then following SRS. Once we're above 400 feet, we'll confirm the failure, shut down the affected engine, and it's a non-standard engine out procedure here as well. So once we've shut down that affected engine, we will carry on straight towards the SPR on that 224 radial, which is essentially runway track, and then once we have entered the hold, we can push to accelerate away, and we're going to get ourselves up to 7,000 feet because that's MSA. Right, I think that is job done. Grubbo Sim, massive congratulations on 35 subs. Thank you so much. Really, it's the only reason you enjoy flying the Phoenix. Surely not. Surely the Phoenix speaks for itself. What an amazing aircraft this is. Right, well, let's just address the cabin whilst I'm waiting for them to sort themselves out. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board this Easyjet flight from Geneva to Tivat. We'll be cruising today at flight level 370, 37,000 feet. There is a short departure delay. I know we were meant to push back a couple of minutes ago, so I apologise for that. So we are running slightly behind, but we'll do our best to make that up once we're in the air. Once we get our engine started, the taxi time should be fine. There's not really much traffic here on the ground, and the weather for our flight today is looking very good. So without any en route delays, we should get you to Tivat hopefully on time. Once ground have finished loading, as I say, we'll close the doors and we'll be good to go. Thank you. Lemon Wolf, thank you for the thanks. Right, should we get the APU started? Because I bet it's getting a bit warm up here as well, isn't it? Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
We're going to be starting the APU now.
Roger. We'll monitor the startup from down here and let you know if we see anything untoward.
Alright, thank you. Bomtech, how do you get the initial climb through ATC, or is it on the charts? A lot of the time it's on the charts, so if I just look down here, it's usually right down at the bottom. There you go, initial climb clearance is flight level 90. Sometimes ATC will tell you, other times you can just use this. It's usually found on the charts though, so if that's what you're looking for. Louis Aviation, good afternoon, celebrating 27 months of channel membership. That is awesome, and you landed in Luton 10 minutes ago. Well, Luton's an Easyjet hub, so enjoy your time there, Louis. Thank you so much for your help and support. Right, come on then. While waiting that final load sheet as well, then we'll also just go through the box. So we've briefed everything. I'm going to show you the box so you guys are happy with all of that. So let's do that now. So flight plan confirming, runway 4 for departure. And then we've got, there you go, medium 5 November is in. Radnav page is tuned to Geneva and the SPR. Flight level 370. Ooh, we might need to step climb up there because max is 371. Don't really want to get that close to max, do we? So maybe 350 for the first part of the climb. Speeds when 141, 146, 146. Clean is 221. Flaps 1 for departure. We're flexing at 61 today, and thrust reduction acceleration is 297, 4407. And we've got basically a noise abatement 1 departure today. Takeoff weight is 67.7, so we're above max landing weight, and would be, if we needed to come back in, would be overweight for the landing should we need to return quickly, so worth thinking about that as well. And second flight plan is set for the engine out procedure. Good. Job done. So is that APU up and running? Oh, no, because I forgot to start it. Ground will be wondering what the hell's happening to the APU. Why is it not kicked in yet? Yeah, oh well, they've not contacted me to tell me anything's wrong. They'll be too busy loading, won't they? I'm Sage, thank you for subscribing. Appreciate that. How warm is it on the aircraft? 33, 26, 28. Yeah, that is warm. Are the packs turned down? They are, but they're not turned on just yet. Guy, do I have a keybind set for the self-loading cargo voice recognition? Didn't really understand it from the video. So to activate it, it's the middle mouse button that you use. And you have to hover it over the little address cabin icon, and then they have now introduced a push to talk button as well in their latest update, which is quite neat. Otherwise, it sometimes recognises your voice as I'm talking to you. It sometimes recognises it as something else. There we go. APU's available. Refueling then, that's completed. 8.5 tons. Balanced. Let's get that off. So that's done. Seatbelt signs can come on. We can disconnect the ground power. So copy to ground.
Go ahead.
You can disconnect GPU now.
Roger. Stand by, please.
Hopefully they're not too far off from loading as well. There we go. External power has been disconnected.
Ground power has been disconnected.
Okay, thank you. Right, we can now get the APU bleed on. Give it another minute, and then we'll get the packs on to start cooling those passengers down. Turkish, do I have any plans to visit Istanbul? I've got plans to visit everywhere. It's just a lack of time, sadly. Goofy, do they actually remove the GPU? Depending on what aircraft you're flying and the integration, yes, it does. So, still loading the aircraft, sadly. Best not start the engines, it might annoy them. However, with the final load sheet, let's check our performance is valid. So, clear that, grab that. Zero fuel weight is 59.5, takeoff weight 678. Okay, so we're a little bit heavier, so I'm going to have to redo the performance, see how we get. 162 passengers, 5 infants, and 29.1 is the CFG. Okay, let's just redo the performance, see what we get. So, 678. and 29.1. Just get the latest weather. I don't think that's changed. And recalculate. 141, 146, 146, that's fine. Flex 61. Yeah, nothing's changed. Nothing's changed, so that's worked. We've got the LMCs, but it doesn't matter. Again, self-loading cargo and GSX, they don't work together as far as I'm aware, because they technically do two different things, you know. One is sort of outside the simulator, voice commands and cabin crew. The GSX obviously is inside the simulator, so they don't work with each other. Dave Hudson, good afternoon to you as well. Hope you're doing well. Come on, ground. We're now late, thanks to you. Always making me late. Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
Any idea how long we're going to be?
There's probably about 5 minutes remaining.
Okay, roger. Right, I'm going to get both packs on. Cool that cool the cabin down. Let's have a look. Yeah, there we go. I'd say I'd open the window and let some cool air in, but that's now showing 37 degrees. So, wow, that has really just heated up in the last half an hour. So that's 34. Let's just update that. 37. There we are. Duke Pilot, the voice program is called Self-Loading Cargo. Sumdrop, how does it work? Because when you push back with GSX, self-loading cargo still says to release parking brakes. Well, you see, I have the pushback turned off. You can turn off the pushback in self-loading cargo, so they don't sort of interfere with each other. So that's the way I do that. Duke Pilot, greetings from Colombia. Fantastic. Thanks so much for being here. Hope you're having a good, a good morning. Correlation, what is the best way to learn the charts? Is there an arriving departure chart, or are they the same? Pretty much the same in terms of the way they are laid out. It depends what it is you're after with regards to what you want to learn about it. Obviously, from a map point of view, that's pretty straightforward. But yeah, lots of other things regarding that, I suppose. I do have a video on reading the charts available on the channel if you want to check that out at some point. Sonodrop, it's in the settings pages. There's a lot of settings pages. I forget exactly where it is, but it is definitely there. Lewis Aviation, have a have a safe journey. Hey Andy, how are you finding the Fenix update yesterday? Brilliant. Oh, I think it's really, really good. My frame rates and performance has definitely improved. Brendan, how long will this flight be after departure? About an hour and a half, something like that. Come on, ground. They never normally take this long, do they?
Ground to cockpit.
There we go. Yeah, go ahead.
Loading has been completed. We're sending the load sheet up to you now. We'll contact you for pushback once you're closed up and the beacon light is switched on.
Alright, thank you. That shouldn't be too long. J-Hug, you flew to Kai-Tak last night. Makes Gibraltar and Innsbruck seem tame. Yeah. There was a reason they closed that airport. Zach, how much is the Phoenix? I think it's 50 pounds. 50 Great British pounds. Hello?
Hi, Captain. Okay, here's the load sheet from ground. I've written the passenger count here, the crew count here, and the total number of souls, not including yourselves, here.
Wonderful, thank you.
Okay, looks like we're all set to go whenever you're ready.
Okay, yeah, let's get doors closed and
No
let you know when
problem.
to go. Right. So, let's just check. Get all our doors closed. Fantastic. So, beacon light on because we're going to start on stand. Alright, so copy preparation checklist. Aircraft acceptance has been completed. Fuel quantity is 4,880 kilograms. And balanced. Signal signs are on, it is 3.5 green, and QNH is 1018, 1,380 feet.
Ground to cockpit.
Go ahead.
We're ready to disconnect.
Okay, thanks. Pin straight ahead. Right, so before start checklist. Parking brake is on. Takeoff data is confirmed. Windows are closed. EFP is on flight mode. Doors closed and armed. And the beacon light's on. Engine mode selected to ignition. Starting engine 1.
All stations, please arm doors.
Duke Pilot, what do I think about the newer version of the Phoenix? I really like it. Even the performance update is really nice. Version 2, when it first came out, I preferred the handling of it, particularly in crosswind situations. And now with this little patch that came out yesterday, the performance, well, for me, I know everyone's different, but the performance is just really, really nice. Gamut, single engine taxi today? No, there's nothing around, so we'll get both engines started on stand and get out of here. Pedro, do you see the visual differences in version 2? Yeah, all of the fonts have changed ever so slightly, so they're more realistic now compared to the real thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now ask for your attention while we take you through the safety procedures on this aircraft. A safety card is in your seat pocket, showing the exit routes, oxygen masks, life jackets, and brace position that you must...
Talvin, if you if you want to come with the co-pilot, it basically means that you get to do the briefing, which for a flight like this today, I'll happily hand that over to you. Engine 1 started, starting engine 2.
Please be aware that your nearest exit may be behind you. In an emergency, leave all cabin baggage on board. Your seatbelt is fastened, adjusted, and released as shown. It must be fastened when the seatbelt signs are on, and we recommend that you keep it fastened at all times.
What a gorgeous day.
If the air supply fails, masks will drop from above you. Pull a mask towards you to start the operation.
Sondrop, the ground crew and such, I've got 2 add-ons. It's self-loading cargo and GSX working at the moment.
Pull on each side to adjust. Put on your own mask before helping others.
Maximo, thank you. Glad you like the
Take the
videos.
life jacket from under your seat. Put it over your head. Pass the tapes around your waist. Click together. And pull the strap to adjust. Do not
Pedro, how did I get the right announcements in self-loading cargo? Yeah, that took quite a long time. And I'm still building that sound pack. Talvin, what happens if you buy it now? I'd say it's over to you, mate. I expect you to brief us fully on the arrival and how we're going to fly it. I've already done the departure. It's just a gimmick, really, but yeah, puts you in prime spot. Right, engine number 2 is happy, so engine mode selector to normal. That can come off, that can come off. Rudder, spoilers, flaps, etc. Not in that order. I'll do that properly, so just so you're aware, it is actually the spoilers, rudder, and then flaps. And then we'll set the trim. And then we'll run the after start checklist. So anti-ice is off, ECAM status is checked, pitch trim is 29.1, and rudder is neutral. Okay, do a flight control check whilst we're here on stand then, so we'll go full left, full right, neutral, full up, full down, neutral rudder, full right, full left, neutral. Excellent, let's get the tax clearance. Geneva Tower, Top Swiss 46 Lima Hotel, stand 6-5. We're ready to taxi and we can depart via Echo.
Top Swiss 46 Lima Hotel, taxi to the holding point intersection Echo, runway 04 via inner, link 4 and outer.
Holding point intersection Echo from runway 04 via the inner, link 4 and outer. Top Swiss 46 Lima Hotel. Gotta hope that's a flight control decam. Yes, it is. Right, cancel master caution. Happy to disregard.
Alps has been established for runway 04.
So, clear ECAM.
Swiss 6 Echo Delta, tower
Hello?
low, continue approach, wind check 100 degrees, 5 knots.
Okay, thank you.
Just
Continue
let me know
approach
when you're ready to
with
go,
Echo
and
Delta.
I'll get the crew seated.
Alright, thanks. God, look at all that red. So, as briefed, straight out, inner, then link 4, and then outer. Aviator, thank you, mate, for your 5 months of channel membership. You've got high school, class school, but congratulations for
25
35.
Echo, wind 100 degrees, 5
Thank
knots.
you so much, mate.
runway 04,
Hope you have a good day at
takeoff.
school.
Runway 04 clear for takeoff, radar wings 25 Echo.
Right, so a quick pets check then. We had the LMCs, but didn't affect any of our performance, so that's all been checked and fine. Engine out procedure is non-standard, straight out to the SPR, where we'll take up the hold, climb up 7,000 feet, and the departure, Medan 5 November, noise abatement 1, first turn to the right when we're above 5,000 feet, but not before 8 miles from Geneva, VOR, and stop climb is final 90. Taxi checklist, flight control's been checked, flap setting, config 1, FMA is climb nav blue 1 FT2 6, no, 9, let's do that again. Climb nav blue 1 FT2 9000 blue, radar on predicted wind shear is on, ECAM memo, takeoff no blue, EFB is stowed and disconnected. Have I got rid of the other EFB? Get rid of that. Don't need that one.
And speedboat 464 ready for taxi.
Nick's here. Excellent.
Speedbird 464, taxi to the holding point intersection Echo, runway 04 via inner, link 2 and outer.
Okay, for 04 via inner, link 2 and outer, speedboat 464.
Pedro, I use a sort of a combination of both, really. Beluga PC, good afternoon, so I hope you're doing well. Right on to link 4.
Swiss 6 Echo Delta, wind 100 degrees, 5 knots, runway 04, clear to land.
Clear to land, Swiss 6 Echo Delta.
Eurowings 25 Echo, no further ATC available, monitor Unicom, choose.
Monitor Unicom, Euro Wings 25 Echo. Viel Spaß hier noch, ciao.
Danke. Geneva Tower, Delta Indy Kilo Golf Echo, 1 minute inbound Sierra, altitude 3,300 feet, request entering CTR via route Sierra for 2 touch and goes before landing and information Foxtrot is on board. Delta Golf Echo, willkommen zurück, information Foxtrot correct, enter the control zone via route Sierra, expect runway 04. Enter control zone via route Sierra, expect runway 04, Delta Golf Echo. Speedbird 46, give way to the Easyjet Airbus 320, crossing from right to left.
That's how it should be, absolutely.
We'll give way to the Easyjet, passing right to left, 0464.
Cabin crew seats for takeoff. Not cutting in today, Nick. Dread, thank you for the 35k, congrats. Elliot Woodford, good afternoon, sir. Hope you're doing well. Oh, that looks like an interesting landing. Are we going long?
Top Swiss 46 Lima Hotel, runway 04, intersection Echo, line up and wait.
Flight Echo, line up and wait, runway 04 for Top Swiss 46 Lima Hotel. Right, approach path is clear.
Geneva Tower, Air France 2047, radio check, how do you read?
Air France 2047, tower, hello, read you 5x5.
Weather, Air France 2047.
Geneva Tower, this is Eurowing 2013, we are on final runway 04.
Talvin, I don't really notice it too much.
Two stations at the same time. Eurowings 2013, confirm you were calling.
Affirmative on final runway 04.
Eurowings 2013, tower low, continue approach.
Continue approach, Eurowings 2013.
Top Swiss 46 Lima Hotel, wind 100 degrees 5 knots, runway 04, clear for takeoff.
Clear to takeoff, runway 04, Top Swiss 46 Lima Hotel. Cabin secured, takeoff runway is via Echo, runway 04, TCAS TRI, packs 1 and 2, off, let's go, takeoff. Chrono.
Swiss 6 Echo Delta, welcome to Geneva, taxi to the stand number 9 via Alpha, outer, link 3, inner.
50% M1 set, stable, set takeoff thrust, man flex, SRS, runway, let's go.
Geneva Tower, behind 72 Romeo, stand number 8, ready for push and start.
Beeline 72 Romeo, push and start is approved, facing southwest, QNH 1017.
100 knots.
Push and start approved, facing southwest, QNH 1027, Beeline 72 Romeo.
Beeline 72 Romeo, confirm pushback 1, correction, confirm QNH 1017.
1017 for Beeline 72 Romeo.
Positive climb, gear up.
Echo, overhead, Golf Echo, altitude 3,200 feet, performing 1 orbit. Delta Golf Echo, roger that. After the orbit, proceed into downwind, runway 04, crossing runway axis is approved. Crossing runway axis is approved, proceeding to downwind runway 04, Delta Golf Echo. Delta Golf Echo, new QNH 1017. New QNH 1017, Delta Golf Echo, next.
New QNH acknowledged there.
New QNH 1017, intersection Echo, runway 04.
First climb, SRS.
100 degrees, 5 knots, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, runway 04, and copy the QNH, speed 464.
Office 46 Lima Hotel, no further ATC available, monitor Unicom, bye bye.
Over to Unicom, thanks for the service, Top Swiss 46 Lima Hotel. Bye bye.
Delta Golf Echo traffic information, Airbus 320 departing on runway 04.
Delta Golf Echo looking out for traffic.
Okay, autopilot 1 engaged, and we're in climb mode now. No further ATC, let's continue the climb. 200 blue.
Delta Golf Echo traffic inside.
I'll pop that into open climb.
Delta Golf Echo.
Always a nice departure, isn't it? Gorgeous looking out of Geneva. The water down there looks nice and calm as well. Dread, how long have I been flying on VATSIM for? I have no idea. Feels like forever. Sean, thancefully that little ECAM being wasn't the PAX, it was it telling me that I got a nav discrepancy, so I just need to link those up and then save it. Right, SB.
Links 2013, traffic information, VFR traffic, turning now into downwind runway 04, wind 100 degrees 5 knots, runway 04, clear to land.
Cabin crew, you're released.
04, you're going to 13.
Delta Golf Echo traffic information, Eurowings Airbus 320, short final runway 04.
Delta Golf Echo traffic inside.
That's because we did it on stand.
Delta Golf Echo behind dimension traffic, join final runway 04.
Behind mentioned traffic, turning final runway 04, Delta Golf Echo.
Okay, MSA is now just going to 10,006.
No further ATC available, monitor Unicom, bye bye.
Over to Unicom, thanks for your ATC, speedbird 464.
36 Echo Delta, say again.
6 Echo Delta, promise number south. There's this traffic on the inner, from us gate 9.
So 6 Echo Delta, I see it pushed a little further than I expected to. You may take stand 10 or stand 11, whatever, whichever suits you best.
Thank you very much, I'll take stand 11.
What an amazing view.
Beeline 70 Romeo right here. We are ready for taxi.
Speedbird 7, correction, Beeline 72 Romeo, taxi holding point runway 04 via Inno, link 1 and outer.
Yeah, we got Mont Blanc in front of us, just there.
Inner, link 1 and Alpha for Beeline 70 Romeo.
Spoilers, flaps, gear, lights.
Top Swiss 1403, ready for push.
Top Swiss 1403, are you able to push back onto Inno facing southwest?
Right, 10,000 feet.
Top Swiss 1403.
Top Swiss 1403, push and start is approved onto Inno facing southwest, QNH 1017.
So I'll clear the Geneva
VOR
now. I'll leave Sapri in.
Onto Inno, QNH is 1017. Top Swiss
Zero the cost index.
You know, I told you 02013.
I'll leave the second flight plane as well, because if we need to go back, well, there's only one place we're going to be going.
After the touch and go, join downwind, wind 100 degrees 5 knots.
Let's get off that. We could put Mont Blanc on the navigation display as well. Did you know it has its own waypoint? So if we go to the fixers page, it's called Moblo. So, should appear on the navigation page. If I can find it. There it is, look. Over there. As we are doing the, as we're crossing the Alps, then we should probably put in DGAD. And the radial 090. And 225, and that's our point of no return line. See you later, Salvin. Aviator, see you soon. Loving the contrail just there as well. That's a gorgeous view, that. I like that. Duke, have you ever tried VR? I have, but it was just a bit... It was too blurry for me. I ended up having to really lean in to see the to see all the displays. Don't get me wrong, it was very nice, very immersive, but could have just been done with being a bit cleaner, I guess. But then again, it wasn't my VR setup, so it wasn't something I could tinker around with. Eduardo, where do you get the texture with the interior from? What kind of texture are you talking about? Because obviously this is a add-on aircraft. This is the Fenix A320 aircraft. It's not the stock one that you'll find that ships with Microsoft Flight Simulator. Sanya, you just started to learn the A320. Fantastic. You're going to love the journey because it's so simple and logical. What I recommend you do, Sanya, is if you join our Discord server, link in the video description below, then in the pilot's briefing room there are tons of documents, including almost like a flight crew techniques manual, which is highly recommended. Sean, has anyone tried a long haul recently with the 787? Definitely a lot better than it used to be. No stuttering. And been like a sideshow when landing in Atlanta from Heathrow. I wish I had the time to do something like that, Sean. I just don't, sadly. Even when the kids go back to school, it's going to be a bit of a struggle. All of them are going to school this time round, which means that come 3 o'clock, that's it. We'll be surrounded by kids again. Gammon, can you choose dirty or clean cockpit in the Phoenix? No, just the one. It's just this default setup. Mike Oliver, I did see that, yes, yeah. Shows the differences though, doesn't it? Between the A330 and the A320. They are very, very similar, but some slight intricacies in differences. So the type rating course between the two, obviously, very similar. The flight deck, very similar. But obviously, you can't just jump from one into the other. Gamma, this is default Bing Maps, yeah. Nothing to do with Google. Right, we're going to get ourselves up to flight level 350. That is our planned optimum, so let's crack on with that. First climb, open climb, and 350 blue. There we go. Right, do we keep seatbelt signs on then, or do we take them off as we cross the Alps? What do you guys think? Liana, I just popped a little comment on there just because he was surprised that when he pulled the speed bug on takeoff that it didn't select the next characteristic speed that he'd got, so basically S speed, and I think he just got a bit confused because he thought that was wrong, but it's not. In the A320 that's exactly what happens. The A330, now I didn't know this, the A330 though, apparently when you pull speed on departure, it automatically sets the next characteristic speed, so whatever S speed is in your performance page. So yeah, just slight difference there. Obviously Phoenix have got it modelled correctly. Zach, do I have a checklist for the Phoenix? Yeah, everything is in the pilot's briefing room. It's all in there. This is the kind of weather that we look at and we think, do we have live weather working? Where's the clouds? That looks gorgeous though, doesn't it? Alright, let's be brave. Seatbelt signs can come off. God, that looks nice. Gamut, no, the pilot's briefing room is just a room on our Discord server where there's all sorts of documentation with regards to A320 in there. Great for insomnia. Funnily enough, I had that last night. My wife got called at 4 AM this morning to go to work. She was on call for it, so I got up and just helped kick her out the house, and I went back to bed and I just couldn't go to sleep. I could have come downstairs and done a stream. Maybe I would have done it if I'd not got children that could have woke up at any point. So we're about to cross this sort of line, point of no return. So basically, if we had a problem now, we'd turn around, probably get back to Geneva. Once we've crossed this line, it's safer to carry on to Milan and such. Guys, the OMB stopped the checklist. I think that might have the checklist at the back of it, if I remember correctly. Abacool, I can't do that whilst we're live, I'm afraid, no. Hey, Klaus Hansen, live weather's working at least over Scandinavia. Yeah, it's working here, it's just, do you not get concerned sometimes? I mean, we know that the pressure's working, because pressure was 1017, that was fine, but just sometimes when I see clear blue skies and nothing else, I think, oh, that's interesting. Hey Sanya, so I was using some software to calculate the performance you on the Phoenix recently. There's a inaccurate calculator there. No, the Phoenix calculator is absolutely fine for the Phoenix aircraft. This is SimSmart. This is an A320 Neo performance, so if you use the fly-by-wire, for example. Now, the only thing I use this for when I'm in the Phoenix is to get the thrust reduction and acceleration values, because these are accurate for both Phoenix and the fly-by-wire. And the engine out procedure down here, which you don't get in the Phoenix. So I just kind of get these pieces of information from it. What I don't use is the V-speeds, because they would be wrong. That's a different aircraft. That's it then, we're past the point of no return. If anything goes bang now, we're not going back to Geneva, we're carrying on to Milan. I love this. That looks so good. Gamut, for the Phoenix A320, should you use the A320X checklist? Yeah, the checklists between the two are interchangeable. Checklists are usually airline specific. Basically, Airbus provide the checklists and then some airlines just tweak them slightly depending on what they want their pilots to do. Lucas Self-Loading Cargo is the one regarding cabin crew, and the ground crew is from GSX, Ground Services Extreme. D3CU, good afternoon, hope you're well. But yeah, coming into Tivat is definitely one of my favourite destinations. Let's just have a look at how that approach is set up as well. I did say we were going to have a quick look at it. As Leanna points out as well, the checklist is is what you do after you've done everything. It's basically the last stop for you to catch anything that you haven't already done. There is part of the checklist which is sort of a silent part of your checklist, and that's normally done right at the start and the end of the day, sort of like a setup. So how's this looking on this approach? Kang, thank you for the sub, appreciate that. Let's zoom in here, see what this looks like. Yeah, okay. That is actually correct, what we've got set up there. So what we are going to do, we've got the hold there in at Lasty. What we're going to do is we'll go, I think we'll go direct Lasty and then Gossett. Just check the charts for that. Yeah, so it's Lasty, Gossett, and then TV03. We're doing TV. Sorry, 301. Let me just check that. Oh yeah, Lasty, Gossett. Oh, and then it's into TAS, the NDB. Yeah, so that's the right approach. Procedure not usable at night. That's interesting. I doubt the procedure for the other runway is usable at night. It is the kind of airport that I would not want to fly into at night, to be honest. Too many things that you can hit. Sandy, is it possible to create place-bearing distance waypoints in this aircraft? Yep, absolutely it is. Yep. That is indeed correct. Jonathan Charles, sorry, I'm lost with what you were asking there. Feel free to ask again, I'll try and explain a bit more clearly. Nick, you seem to be clambering up the points ladder. Not going to knock Elliot off the top spot, are you? Surely not. Guys, if you've enjoyed the stream so far and the departure, as we celebrate 35,000 subs thanks to you guys, then please do hit that like button on stream. And it does help continue to make a big difference to the channel, so thank you. Oh, Jonathan, it wasn't for me. That's fine. that's more than fine. Right, let's have a look at the leaderboard then, see what's happening. So, number one, Elliot's still at number one. He's, oh god, he's way out in front. Elliot, that's incredible. Is that 20, is that 2 million points? Wow. Eastbird in second, of course. Mark in third. Nick is creeping up though. He's not far behind Mark. He's in fourth place. Peter ATCO in fifth. Liana in sixth. Well, yeah, there you go. Liana's on the board as well. ATC Swedes dropping down. Peter will be happy about that. Jordan is in 8. Chris in 9. Dr. Magic sitting there in 10th, just clinging onto that final spot of the board. Oh, that's 33,000 feet. We've got another 2,000 to go. So once we reach cruise altitude, we'll do a fuel check, we'll get some en route weathers, we'll see what's happening in Tivat with regards to those potential thunderstorms that were forecast. If they're sat over the airport, I don't fancy trying to land there. We're looking to land with around 4.1 tons of fuel on board at the moment. Simon, any tips for someone who is nervous about switching on random failures for the first time? Start with the easy failures. Sort of, I forget what the options are now. What are the options? Let me have a quick look. Minor failures, that's the one I was looking for. Minor failures. Minor failures aren't flight breaking, or they shouldn't be. That said, minor failures can still screw you over depending on where you're flying to. Captain Q, fuel check? Yeah, we'll do a fuel check. Make sure we're not burning more fuel than we planned and we're not leaking fuel somewhere. Quite important. Right, there we go, 35,000 feet's coming up. Recommended maximum moment is 37,500 feet. Once we burn a bit more fuel and got up to 38, then we can go, I'll be happy to go up to 37. Miles, you were messing around with the failures and ended up losing complete control of the plane. Which failure did you get to make that happen? Because something must have gone terribly wrong for you to have lost complete control of your aircraft. The Airbus is very well backed up with stuff like that. Right, so we're in Alps. Let's just change in the program page our cruising altitude 350. Then we should get Alt Cruise. There we go, Mac Alt Cruise, and set that to below. Other things we can do now, so yeah, we can clear out the RadNav page now. No point having Sampri in there as well. Flight plan's fine. Progress page. Might as well pop that in. What runway we're landing on? I've forgotten. 32, isn't it? Get that in there. Cost index back to 4. Yeah, that's done. Secondary flight plan. Copy the active. That's done. Alright, should we do a fuel check? Let's see. We're 110 miles away from the next waypoint. In that case, what we're going to do is we'll do the fuel check in about 15 minutes time. What we can do then is we'll get some on weathers. So, looking at where we're flying at the moment and what other runways we're going to be, what other airports we'll be flying over, we'll check out Milan. So let's go to our do menu, check the ATSU page. Let's sign the first officer out. There we go. Yes, let's have a look. Now, the fact that all I can see beneath us is blue sky leads me to believe that all these airports are going to be wide open. We can land wherever the hell we want if something breaks. But we'll check out Milan. A little bit later on, then we'll check out Zadar, which is LDZD. I think I've got scenery for that airport as well. Check out Dubrovnik. And of course LYTV as we check out what's happening at the moment at our destination. Right. Wait for all of those to come through. Right, so let's see. God, that's a lot of messages. First one, Milan 2305 Cav OK. No significant changes. Fine. Tops with SOPs. You're 22 minutes late. Oops. Go away. Let's have a look then at Zadar. 31013 is cab okay, it's wide open. Dubrovnik is the same. So what's happening in Tivat? Wind's nice and light, 2103. Perfect. Few clouds, 6,000 feet, 36 degrees. No significant changes. Coordinates 1012. Well, quite happy with how that's looking at the moment. J-Hog, oh my god, you're attempting the summer house with him tomorrow. Well, that should only take you a week or two. If the schedule as built was anything to go by. Right, good. Next thing to do is the fuel check. We'll do that momentarily. Bomb deck, my cat walked across the keyboard the other day while flying the Sol 747, played hard bank to the left and inverted went to the ground. That's a cat 4 landing then, clearly. Jonathan, you've only ever flown into Malpensa. Is the destination Milan here too? No, the destination today is Tivat, but you can Easyjet fly. In fact, I think Easyjet fly to all of them. So they fly to Milan, Malpensa, Milan, is it Bergamo, and what's the other one? Go on, Milan, Linate. Yeah, they fly to all of them, I think. Air traffic control coming up in the future. Doesn't look like it. What's London control on though? Rome radar is on. We're not going to pass through their airspace though. We're a little bit too far north for that. God, you can see for miles today. There's not any haze as well, which the simulator I think does very well as well. It pops the haze in there. Dynasty, are we using default weather? We are indeed. Dynasty, that's a call sign I've not heard for a while. That's Air China's call sign, isn't it? Or I think it used to be. I don't know if that's changed at all. So for our next flight, whenever that may be, if we had a vote, where would you like us to fly into next? Interesting to see where you guys would like to see us fly into. Don't say Vega. Hey Guido, good to see you. Where are we now? We are over Italy, the north of Italy. Captain Q says Innsbruck, Robert says Bergen. Have we done Bergen before? It's not an Easyjet destination, but that doesn't mean we haven't done it. Simon, a Greek island. Any particular one? One that is on fire or one that isn't? Juliet, Charlie, Mike. Oh, where's that? Is that Rio or somewhere like that? Gira, you wanted to get a position of the actual flight. Go on then, hang on. I'll see if I can do that for you. Jonathan, have we done Paro yet? Yes, not successfully though. you don't care where we fly to as long as something fails. There you go. That's where we are. If that helps. I was going to try and turn off some of the settings on there. Oof, that's a lot of text. Should we just go with world map? That's a bit weird. Why is that not staying on when I want it to? There you are. How's that? Is that better for you? Do you know where we are now? Roger Cat. We flew there not long ago, so not doing that one. Julie Charlie is it Sao Paulo? Fair enough. Bilbao for Sean. Murcia. Have we done Murcia before? Thought we had. Dynasty Mahon. Well, that would be very interesting. I'll tell you what, Dynasty. I will fly to Mahon on Saturday, but I won't be streaming it because it's a real flight. That would be difficult. Though if it were possible, how awesome would that be? Right, can we do this check yet? Nearly. Tell you what we didn't do. Didn't cycle the SD pages. Checking that we haven't broken anything. Fine, good. Yep. 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 That's interesting. Leanna, is this your doing? I've not seen that before. Well, not got anything telling us the APU's knacked. Interesting. Check the overhead. Nothing on there. Oh, I know what we haven't checked with this version of the Phoenix. Are all the circuit breakers where they should be? I don't know if you noticed, but some of them were popped, weren't they? Do you remember? Let's see. Still got some popped ones here, look. Yeah, they should be in. Anyone see any others? I think that's it. And none down here. And they're all okay. Alright. Hey Christian, how you doing? Visual approach RMP guidance from 03. Oh go on, where's that? It's not Salzburg, is it that? Is it Salzburg? Sounds like an interesting approach. Don't think we've ever done that. Chris Hogg, good afternoon, Chris. How are you doing? Where is it, Christian? Samden. Nice. We've definitely never done that before. That requires an early flare. Michael, hello to you. Do I have any videos which show how to activate a go-around? Activate a go-around after a missed landing or going to an alternate airport in the McDo. We haven't done that in the Phoenix. No, I don't think we have. Something else to do. I'll add it to the list. There have been several times that we've done a go-around though, so on stream. So I don't know which. I tell you what, if you can search for an approach and flight to Southend. We did a go-around, I remember, in Southend. Hello?
Sorry for the intrusion. I was just wondering if you'd like a drink.
Oh, I'd love a cup of tea, please.
Of course. Just give me a couple of minutes and I'll bring it for you.
Awesome. Zasin, thank you so much for your celebrating your first month of channel membership. Not too late to the special occasion, not at all. The fun bit is definitely the arrival into Tivat. That is indeed for sure. Von McLean, hey Von, how are you doing? Honestly, what a gorgeous day. Not a cloud in the sky. Hello.
Hi, Captain. Your drinks are ready. They're in the storage compartment in our galley.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Right, I'm just trying to search through some documentation regarding the Amber APU there. I've not seen it before, so I just want to check that. The problem is finding it. Right, let's do a fuel check. We've just passed Betmar. So let me just grab the EFB. So we took what? 8.5 tons, which is 1.2 tons more. Find Betmar. Where are you? There. So we should have about 5.9, about 6 tons on board. Oh, 5.9. Yeah, that. Is that right? No, we took more than that. How much fuel have we used? $2.5 tons. I would have expected a little bit more fuel in there, but it's alright. We've got 1,000 tons above what we what we require. That's okay. Sean, you're looking forward to this arrival. Never seen an arrival into Tivat, but you've heard a lot about it. Only good things, I hope. Official Joseph, what is the plug-in? Oh, for the cabin crew, it's self-loading, yeah, self-loading cargo. So there we can just see we're about to... Oh, there's some clouds. First time I've seen any. There we can see the coast of Italy that we're going to be heading down shortly. And we should be there in about oh, less than an hour. Less than an hour should be there. So, that's good. Nick says, you've not flown this aircraft since the update, now wondering if Tivat was a good idea. Of course it was a good idea. What could possibly go wrong, Nick? We don't have bad ideas on this channel. Well, unless you include flying to Vega. Density flight 350 for the 35,000k stream. Well, to be honest, we can probably get higher now. Let's just have a quick look. We were planned 37. Oh no, 35 is still optimum for us, so we'll stick with it. I suppose it works like that, doesn't it? Now you mention it. So I've got the equitime point here, which is, to be honest, it's not really much of a useful equitime point at this point, because realistically we can probably update it. So where... wrong one. Where's the equitime point? Just have a quick look at that. Yeah, so we'd be probably better at popping in somewhere like Ancona, which Easyjet again do fly to. Is that LIPY, I think? Yeah, so let's update the equitime point. as we cross the little sea. Where are we? Data page, equitime point. So no point having Geneva in there. So LIPY. There we go. So the equitime point will now be somewhere between here and Tivat ahead of us, right in the middle of that, right in the middle of the sea. At least that's the plan, if it shows. Oh, there we go. It's not too far away. Look, that works nicely though. Duke equipment, how's the Fenix update been so far? Really nice. You know, the version 2 came out and it was much better. The patch came out and that was even better than that. Right, nowhere can I find any information regarding the amber triangle for the APU, which is a bit disconcerting. Hey Siri, you should definitely try the Fenix with the update. I've noticed a performance boost, like with the patch, better than the original update to the version 2 of the Fenix. Hey Mike, good to see you. Thank you for the congratulations as well. Hope you're doing well. 35,000 feet. I just want to try something. Okay, I was wondering if that would open up or not. Okay, that appears to be working. I'll turn that off. Don't want that to start. Oh, I wonder if the APU generator's messed up. Right, well that's interesting, because that means if we were doing the return flight, then we'd need ground power connectors whilst we started the engines. Interesting. Never had that happen before. Don't think the APU valve is open, is it? No. Wondering if it is just the generator. Hang on, I'm just looking through some stuff. Right, I think the fuel valve on the APU's knacked. Does that mean our APU is knacked entirely? I think it does. Ugh, a broken APU. Alright, so let's have a look what that means if the APU is in op. It would affect some things, but thankfully nothing, I think, that's going to annoy us today. Goodio, thank you so much for your very generous €11 donation. That number of subscribers is reason for a party. Thank you so much, Goodio. I really do appreciate that. Very, very kind of you. And thank you for supporting us as well, Guido, with your channel membership as well. So thank you. Appreciate that. So yeah, just reiterating this. Centre fuel pump number 1, I think, might have an issue. And the APU fuel valve appears to have failed. So if the APU is not working on the ground in Tivat, how would that affect us? Let's go to the abnormal procedures section of our documentation. With the documents is that blooming big, and we don't want to spend all day getting focused on this because we've got an arrival to breathe for. It's happened before though, hasn't it? I'm sure you guys are familiar with the, oh, now I forget which flight it is, the one where the crew were so focused on issues and failures they were having that instead of one guy flying the plane, the other trying to troubleshoot the failure, they basically both tried to sort the failure out and ended up crashing. Not a good place to be. I want to say it was a flight in New Zealand, something to do with the landing gear. Might be wrong. There might be more than one, to be honest. See though, I'm not actually getting an ECAM telling me that the APU isn't working, but interesting. Nevertheless. To be fair, we might not get the ECAM until we started the APU, so... as long as there's no fuel leak and the APU isn't on fire, we should be good. Yeah, it just means we would have to... we'd need like an air starter unit to get the engine sorted. Does Tivat have one? No idea. So at this point, it'd be a time to sort of contact ops and say, if we land with an in-op APU, will we be able to get started again? Right, we're 250 miles away. How do I know that? Because I've just seen the lock Zulu 32 pop up, and that comes up at 250 miles out. There's a random useless piece of information for you. So what we're going to do very shortly is actually start the brief, because we need to set up for this approach and we need to brief it thoroughly. Just have a look to see if I can find anything about the in-op APU and what would happen. Yeah, it just means we might need help on the ground starting for our flight back. Anyway, as that's not going to affect our flight, let us continue to get prepped, ready for the arrival into Tivat, which is always the fun bit. So, let's just go to the plan page and have a quick look at what we're going to be doing. Sean, it was probably HD that broke it. Woodcut, thank you so much for that. Right, so here's the plan. We are we're not going to fly direct to Taz. We're going to fly direct to Lasti. So let's bring up the charts and work this out. So the actual approach that we've sort of got in the box at the moment is Tivat, then to Lasti, enter the hold, and get ready to get down 4,000 feet and 2,600 feet as we get towards the waypoint that we need to, which is we go Lasti, then Guzzet, then Taz. Now let's just check the coding for that is correct. So there's the first appearance of Taz. Yeah, there we go. Lasti, Guzzet, and Taz, and there we've got the altitudes that the aircraft will be at, and that's fine. The altitude we need to be at Taz, let's just have a look at this. We need to be at 2,600. That's sort of our platform altitude for this at the Taz NDB. So we'll get that in the box. Let's get all the information off the charts. We'll pop it into the box. We'll set it up. Then we'll brief it thoroughly so we know exactly how we are going to do it. So transition altitude 10,000 feet. Whilst I'm doing this, let's just send off the latest weather as well. And then we'll fill that out. MYTV. That's it. Send that off. Get that in a second. So, as we come in from Lasti, then 4,000 feet as we get down to Guzzet. Now, because of the kind of approach this is, this is a fully stabilized approach. It's not a decelerated approach. We want a stabilized approach. 4,000 feet at Gosti, which is fine. So it's definitely worth writing these down. You know, if you're going to do this approach, just having it sort of scribbled in front of you. I know there's a couple of guys flying alongside us today, so that's exactly what I'm doing now. So Gosti 4,000, and then at Taz 2,600. And 2,600 we want to be fully stabilized, so that's flaps 3, gear down, and then when we're happy we'll go flaps 4. It will be a flaps 4 landing. Let's have a look at the airport itself, because it's not the longest runway, is it? Yeah, 2,500, so that's fine, but given the approach that we're going to be doing, flaps 4. Now actually there is an argument to say flaps 3 might be better here, because it means you can run the checklist earlier, and then that's out of the way, done, and you can forget about it. So let's just get the latest weather information. So winds 180 at 3. So little tailwind as well as we're coming in. 180 at 3, varying 10240. Few clouds, 6,000 feet. Temperature is 34 degrees, and it's 10 kilometers or more. QNH is 1012. Okay, got that. Any other information we need off the chart? So the approach angle is slightly steeper than normal, 3.2. We need a runway visibility range of 5 kilometers. That is absolutely fine today. Missed approach point is 3 miles from ILS Tiv, just here. It's not ILS, that's a bit misleading, it's just a localizer on the approach. What's interesting with this though is that I believe we will get a glide slope. Now I don't think we should get a glide slope, but I think there's just a bug in the way that Microsoft Flight Simulator codes it. Of glide slope is actually there, so you can cheat a little bit. But yeah, normally we'd sort of do a lock approach and then set the flight path angle, which is, as I say, 3.2 degrees. So that's all well and good. Other stuff to note before we brief it. Yeah, vacate a Bravo, Alpha if we need, and then park somewhere. Parking on this stand is always a bit weird because it's a self-manoeuvring stand, which makes me think they probably don't have someone who can fix an APU. It's also an offset as well, so as we fly through the valley, once we get 3 miles, then we're visual approach as it is. Category C and D, final approach, track intercepts runway center line at more than 15 degrees. Yeah. Okay, let's set up the box and then we will sort ourselves out. So, at Gossett, I'd rather be 180, so I can get flaps 2 out. That's fine. Radnav, we're going to put Taz in there. There we are. So that's done. That's already filled out, 153 miles out. Continue 4, yeah, put that back in. So our QNH is 1012. Temperature is 34 degrees. Winds 180 at 3. Transition altitude is 10,000 feet. Flaps full landing, and the minimums, I didn't get them, what were they? 1370. There we go. Okay, so that's done. Second flight plan, copy that. Alright, so are we ready to brief how we're going to fly this then? Let's take a look. Okay, so at top of descent, we are going to get down and we're going to go direct to Lasty, and I want to be 4,000 feet by Gossett. Ideally, we want to be 4,000 feet before that because we need to slow down. I'm going to be flaps 2 at Gossett as well, speed 180 knots. That is the plan, 180 knots, and gear down as we get to Gossett. That means then I've got enough drag out to get down to 2,600 feet by the TAS NDB, at which point then we're on the offset localizer and we can use the localizer approach and we can pull FPA 3.2 degrees. As I said, it's offset by 20. Once we're happy in visual, we can disconnect the autopilot, and when we do that, because it's not leading us to the straight-in approach, we want to take off the autopilot. We also want to take off the flight directors as well. Very important that we do that. The final approach course of the runway is 314. Now that's quite important because we need to set that as well. It's also going to be gear down, flaps 3 as we said before we get to TAS NDB. So we've got a nice steady stabilised approach in there, and it's going to be a flaps full landing. If we're not happy 3 miles from the localizer DME, then that is the missed approach point to bank around the terrain, max speed 185, and we'll get ourselves back up to 6,000 feet. So I think that briefs how I'm going to fly the approach. So with that, we're using auto brake medium as well because we're a little bit heavy, so I want to stop in good time. One thing we didn't do was the one brief right at the start of that, but the weather is fine. You know, we've got a very slight tailwind, 180 at 3, few clouds, 6,000 feet. QNH is 1012. Have we already got that set? Yes, we have, so that's fine. So aircraft, what's broken on the aircraft? Well, we've got a stock fuel valve, and the APU is what is it? The APU fuel valve appears to be broken somewhat, so that's not going to affect us landing, but something to tell the ground about when we get there. No times for the arrival. Threats to be aware of. Yeah, we're not going to brief the biggest threats, which is probably a big thing that we need to do. So the biggest threat is terrain. We've got to fly down this valley, so as we're on the localizer, we have terrain to the left, to the right, and if we carry on flying straight ahead, we've also got terrain further up here as well. Obviously, a massive threat, and this is huge. You know, nearly 6,000 feet peak just there as we're going down. It's also offset by 20 degrees as well, the final approach course. So that is another thing that we need to be aware of threat-wise. So that's that's the plan. That's how we're going to fly it. That's what we're going to do, and hopefully once we've got down safely, we'll vacate a Bravo Alpha if we need, and then park up somewhere. I don't care where. Right. Job done. Now all we have to do is put into action what we've briefed. Remember, it's very important when I turn the autopilot off that flight directors 2 also come off, because they're going to be giving false information. Italian, you make flying the A320 look so easy. Everything is easy the more you practice, I think. I think that's the same with anything in life, isn't it? So Jonathan, talking about that DA in bold on the chart, hang on, there's a sort of easy way to show this. So this is your barometric altitude minimums, this is your radio altitude minimums, this is the altitude you will see on here, and this is the altitude you will see above the ground on here. Bear in mind, there is only, as you can see, the touchdown runway is 20 feet above sea level, hence the difference there. So I hope that helps just clear that up a little bit. Anchors to have the turbulence settings too low. Do you know what? I actually can't remember what they're set to. I think they're set to realistic at the moment, but I think the Fenix team have said you probably don't want realistic, you probably want low for it to be more realistic, if that makes sense. Right, top of descent is approaching, isn't it? Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon from the flight deck. So we are currently cruising today at flight level 350, and we have made up a bit of time following our delayed departure, so hopefully we'll get you there not too late today. Everything's normal in the cruise, and it won't be long before we start heading down towards our destination in Tivat, so I will update you a little bit later once we've begun that descent. Thank you. Always thinks it's a really nice part of the world to fly down this. So can we see Croatia, the Croatian coastline, Split and Dubrovnik, those places? So we've got Dubrovnik straight ahead of us. Split, I think, is behind us now. Sean, yeah, icing can also be put back on as well if you wish. Right, what fuel have we got as well? Just make a note of that. We've got probably 2.5 hours worth endurance time left, so that's fine as well. Luckily, that slight chance of thunderstorms that we had for this flight hasn't come to fruition, so that's good. Yeah, should be on the ground in about, well, less than half an hour. Bit of traffic there over to the right. 2,000 feet above us, can we see it? We just see the contrail there. There it is. Should also have briefed as well MSA as we're coming in 6,900 feet. I can't remember if I said that. Nick, separation 7.5 miles. I think if we went to 10 miles, that might be safest. There's no need for backtracking or anything like that. But just remember, as we're going down the valley, we're going to be at final approach speed, aren't we? So I would say, yeah, I'd say no closer than 7.5 miles. We should be fine. It's not like we've got to backtrack. If we had to backtrack, then also we need to probably adjust accordingly. I really want some good Dubrovnik scenery to come out. It's most certainly one of the biggest airports lacking at the moment, because it's a fantastic airport to fly into. Jonathan, that is Nick. That is Nick behind me. He's a lot further away than that looks. Look, if I zoom in. Yeah, look, he's gone now. So it's like we've got an aircraft about 3,000 feet above us. It's over there somewhere. Can't see a contrail though, unless it's hiding behind here. No, I can't see that. Simon, another suggestion. Yeah, split runway 23. We've done that before. That's pretty straightforward. That. It's like I always compare that. That's pretty much like Madeira, but just the opposite direction. Arguably, it's easier than Madeira, or it used to be before Madeira got the RMP AR approach. Now it's just put it on autopilot and let the aircraft swing itself around onto final. Hey Glenn, actual ETA, the one at the top isn't right unless we're about to touch down. About 25 minutes. Okay, let's go down. First percent 10,000. I was going to say 10,000 blue, yeah, because we're going down to transition altitude. We're going down below transition altitude. So 1012, 10,000 blue. There we go. And I'll keep that speed up as well. If we set speed 270 knots, then we're not going to overspeed. So down we go. Oh, I thought I'd linked those. There we are. So even though we've got clouds around 6,000 feet in Tivat, I don't think anti-ice is going to be needed today. Tukin says, awesome information about the minimum. Has been flying for years, never knew that. It's just one of those little things that's why when you're doing an auto land, I can't show you here because there's no ILS approach, but when you're doing an auto land, you put this figure into the radio page, whereas this figure is in the barrow page, isn't it? I don't think we've done a Tivat approach before from the west, so that'll be nice and different. Yeah, so what we're going to do is probably around here we're going to go into heading mode and we'll break off and fly ourselves around and start the approach that way, vector ourselves in. And we can use nav FPA for this approach. I would, because of the simulator's sort of limitations, be able to use the approach mode because it comes with a glide slope that shouldn't be there really. So if we only use localizer, leave it in nav and then pull FPA. I probably didn't mention it, we want to set 3.2 degrees at 0.3 miles from the TAS NDB to start going down. Another thing we can do to help us, if we go onto our fix info page and type in LYTV runway 32 and the final approach track of the runway, so the heading of the runway is 134. So I'll pop that in. Now we should have, there we go, there's our runway. So you can see how offset that is now, can't you? Hey Captain Quinn, not been there in a while, but congratulations on 35k. Thank you so much. Indeed, it's an amazing milestone made possible only by you guys, not me. So thank you so much guys for that. As we are now on the way down, then if you haven't done so already, please do consider hitting that like button on stream. It does make a difference, so thank you everyone who has done that. Jonathan, would you want that line going straight through the other end of the runway 2 for clarity? No, I only want it coming out from the direction that we're going to be landing. Remember, we are flying sort of this way around, so I wouldn't want it coming out this way. If I was coming in this way, then maybe, but we wouldn't do that because there's some terrain in the way. We can, there is a circling approach here, but we're not doing that today. What is also interesting, I'm just looking in the box here, look, this Tivat approach that it's got in, it's got a slope of 3 degrees. Well, that's not accurate. It should be a 3.2, but then this is actually not an ILS approach, it's only a localized approach. There is no glide slope, so maybe that's just defaulted to 3 degrees, I'm not sure. So if we did use that, we could find ourselves, we could actually find ourselves too high when we come to take the autopilot off. Another reason to use the lock nav FPA. Okay, let's keep that speed up and get down, because we obviously want to slow ourselves down, don't we? Mike says the terrain looks brilliant. It is. It's a great part of the world. Scarab Gaming, any advice please? Flying in America, not something I do a lot of personally. If you have discontinuities, it's just a gap in the flight plan between usually the end of the standard instrument departure and between that and the main flight plan, and then at the other end between the main flight plan and the final part of your arrival. Just delete them. If you've got a manual leg though, you won't be able to delete them. The manual leg is where ATC in real life will then vector you in. Dr. Magic, excellent, you're still here, just back home from a family day out in Manchester. Tell me you took them to the airport, Dr. Magic. Time to chill and watch the approach. Congrats on the 35k again. You are you're most welcome. Thank you for being here, Dr. Magic. Good to see you. The fun bit is about to begin, of course. This is one of those airports, though, where you think, what kind of lunatic decided to build this here? Ladies and gentlemen, you probably noticed we started our descent into Tivat, and we should be arriving in about 20 minutes time. If you can now start to return to your seats, I'll get the seatbelt signs on pretty soon, and the cabin crew will be through to check that the cabin is ready and secured for landing. Thank you for flying with us once again, and I shall speak to you when we're on the ground. Thank you very much. Okay, well, it's time to start concentrating on what we're doing, because it's a difficult approach. I'll try and narrate through it, but obviously my primary focus will be on what we're doing. So we're now going to pull heading as briefed and bank out to the right. And fly heading 140. We're now going to also tidy the flight plan up as well. Approach checklist, Barra FQNH 1012, seatbelt signs are on, minimums are 1370, auto brake medium, and our EFB is stowed. And our airport is there, look. Get an early view of it. Clouds don't look too bad, so that's neat. And we've got the valley just down here. Hey William FS, good afternoon. Night Gaming, thank you for the follow. So pop on the landing system, and we can also now activate the approach phase because we've got selected speed on at the minute. Coming up on 10,000 feet though, so let's reduce that to 50 knots. Bit of speed breakage. Ten 10,000 feet, lights on.
Thank you. I hope you enjoy your drink.
So what we'll look to do is we'll get a beam lasty, and then we'll make a left turn and start our approach. Look at that, even at this altitude the winds are nice and light. Okay, let's manage the speed, start slowing down.
Thank you. Enjoy your food.
Who's ordering crisps? William, is that you? Nice. Tivat traffic top Swiss 46 Lima Hotel is now east, correction, is now west abeam lasty to start the approach for the localizer runway 32. Why are you bothering me now? Hello?
Hello, I was just wondering if you were hungry. I'll get you something to eat if you like.
No thanks.
No problem. If you change your mind, just give me a call.
Yeah, I think you need to prepare the cabin. Yeah, no, just prepare the cabin for landing, please. Okay, flaps 1, speed's checked, flaps 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will shortly be landing. Please ensure your cabin bag is safely stowed with your laptop inside. Your tray table must be stowed, armrests down, and window blinds open. You now need to be seated with your seatbelt fastened, ready for landing.
Okay, we're back to nav and we're direct lasty now.
Newspapers or magazines that you do not want to take with you. The toilets are no longer in service.
Now there's a hold in here which obviously we're not going to need to do because we're not too high, so that's fine. Unfusible, thank you for the follow. Welcome on board. It's definitely more fun with ATC coverage, you're right. But never mind. It's a nice day for it though, isn't it? It's not like we've got terrible weather conditions, and those thunderstorms stayed away. They didn't materialise, so that's good news. So it's telling me you see to set hold speed. Can we actually clear the hold out? I don't think we can. We didn't used to be able to unless they fixed that. Oh, maybe we can now. Ah, perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. Didn't used to be able to do that. Hey KLM, good to see you. Glennog, you're doing tower training at Stansted this evening. If anyone fancies a flight out, I won't be around, Glennog. I'm going to watch my lad play football. But I'm sure plenty of people in the chat here would love to fly to Stansted. I love Stansted as well. Right, there we go. Speed Alt Star. Right, I'm going to arm the localizer approach. Lock green. Track FBA. Flaps 2. Speeds checked. Flaps 2. Once we pass Gossett, it's down to 2,600 feet. Tivat traffic top Swiss 46 Lima Hotel is now 3 miles inbound Gossett for the localizer 3-2 approach. Speed 180. That's Lockstar. So look, that's the runway heading, isn't it? But we're going to fly right down this track till we're happy through the valley and take the autopilot out. Now we shouldn't have a glide slope here. That's why I'm just using lock, and then we'll use FPA. You can cheat if you want in the simulator because you can turn the approach on it and just take it down. However, it would take you down at 3 degrees, and this approach is meant to be 3.2. Okay, so let's head down. 2,600. Thrust line open descent. 2,600. Okay, gear down. Speed 160. Flaps 3. Speed's checked. Flaps 3. Side 120. Yeah, it's Orbex scenery coming up. Ziv, no, I didn't hear that. Lights on. Cabin crew seats for landing. Perfect, so we're at 2,600 feet and at 0.3 miles from the TAS NDB we will set 3.2 on here. Tivat traffic, top Swiss 46 Lima Hotel is 8 miles final, runway 32. Right, reduce the final approach speed. .3 miles, pull FPA 3.2. Missed approach altitude is 6,000.
And Tivat 464 is 7.5 miles from TAS.
Von McLean, thanks for the prime sub. So it's a really nice day today. We've got cracking visibility as we're going down the valley. There's the runway. See how offset that is? So we got gear down early, which is why I hadn't armed spoilers. But we shall do that now. Flaps full. Landing checklists. Cabin secured. Go around altitude 6,000 feet. ECAM memo landing. No blue. Right. Happy with all of that.
100 above.
Autopilot disengage. Flight directors off. Final approach course. 314. Set. Continue. And now we're nicely visual, so we're just going to edge away. Let's try and see the pappies now. We've got 3 whites. There we are, 2 whites, 2 reds.
$500.
Stable. And from here on in, it should just be a normal landing. Wind's calm. 3 whites.
$50, $40, $30, $20, retard.
Come on, touchdown. We are down. Spoilers, reverse green, decel. Reverse is off. Manual brakes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the cabin crew will shortly be leaving their seats to perform safety-related duties. However, we ask that you remain seated until the fasten seatbelt sign has been switched off. Portable electronic devices for messaging, calls or internet access may now be used. Please make sure that you take all your personal belongings with you, checking in the seat pocket, underneath the seat, and in the overhead.
Tivat traffic, runway 32
Take
vacated.
care when opening the lockers in case anything falls out. Smoking is not permitted until you reach a
The traffic 0464, finals for runway 32.
It's been our pleasure looking after you today. Our ground crew will help you complete your Easyjet journey. For the latest news, promotions, flight and destination information, check out our official Facebook page, Twitter or Easyjet app.
Right, so I know we all want to see the replay of that. Should we just stop our engine here and watch Nick? Let's pile the pressure on. Where is he? There he is. I don't normally do this, but it's Nick, so I will. I'm sure Nick will be fine, as I have every confidence in him, otherwise I wouldn't do this. Welcome to Tivat though, guys. Nick is about to join us. Where is he? There he is. Ah, looks amazing. Little correction there, that's fine, still stable. What a pro, look at that, centerline, nailed the touchdown zone, spoilers up. I've got visions of him sweating like that guy from Airplane. That was absolutely bob on, Nick. That was better than mine, mate. That was really, really good. Fantastic. Great stuff. There you go, Nick. You can relax now, my friend. Right, I'm going to have a look at our replay. So in order to do that, I need to say goodbye to Nick and get off VATSIM. So let me just do that and disconnect there. And let's have a look at the replay that we had.
Low terrain.
Oh yeah, self-loading cargo passengers probably not best happy now. That's probably one of the best landings I've ever seen anybody do at Tivat, Nick. We're well proud of that, my friend. Showing me up. Handshake said, just an easy jet landing at Tirana. Thought I'd heard the call in Unicorn. Very cool. Yeah, indeed, that was definitely us. Nick, it's all my years of tutoring. Well, what is it they say? Forms temporary, classes permanent. Cracking job though, my friend. Von, now you just need to get that good. I need to get as good as Nick, honestly. That was... nailed the touchdown zone. I'm going to send that clip to HD. He's going to be very impressed. When's the next evening stream, Von? I'm struggling a little bit with getting ready to go away on Saturday, so I'm not entirely sure. There's my touchdown zone, look. And then we just... there. I only just made it. I was very close to having to go around, but no, we got it down. Simon says, glad I watched the scenery. Super approach. Gonna have to get the scenery. Yeah, so the one I've got loaded in is from OrbX. But yeah, it is a stunning approach. Jonathan, you'd scream if you were teleported too. Yes, quite right. Good old self-loading cargo. It is. It's a wonderful approach, but doing it in real life as well, coming in between the mountains, I bet the views are absolutely fantastic. So guys, thank you so much for joining me on this special 35k subs stream. I wanted to do Tivat because it's Tivat. I love Tivat. It's one of my favourite approaches, and hopefully after seeing this, you'll understand why. Oh, look at that. Love the shadow on that view as well. A massive thanks to each and every one of you for helping us push over that special 35k threshold. And to those of you who have supported during this stream as well, a huge thanks to all of you as always. Our Easyjet Sim Pilot channel members, you are all amazing. Thank you so much for your continued support. Thanks to our mods as well, especially Nick after his wonderful BA landing. That's going to go down in history here at Tivat. He is now the Tivat Master. You can change your name to that, Nick. So I'm going to leave you then with a final sort of replay to see us out. Whatever you're doing for the rest of the day, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great time. Next stream, I'm hopeful. I'll definitely. Oh, in fact, I think we've got a very special stream with giveaways coming up on Friday. So stay tuned to our Discord for that, and I will see you then. Have a great Wednesday, everyone. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all again very soon. Bye bye.
$500.